So I was thinking when we were watching Birdman, I was like, is it true that Michael Keaton is genuinely at his best as an actor when he's portraying a bird person? Because I've never felt more connected to Michael Keaton as a performer than when he was doing Birdman and then also doing the prequel to Birdman, Spider-Man Homecoming. Because the Vulture is more or less just Birdman.
All right, Nick, I hate to interrupt, but welcome to Hate to Interrupt. I am Ethan from youtube.com/Gulif, and I am joined by
Nick from Stop Culture.
Nick, who's VHS guy.
Yeah, and so today we're going to be covering probably the two most disparate movies that we've ever done in terms of quality. We're doing one of the best movies of the 2010s in Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, and also one of the worst movies, not only of the 2020s, but I think that I've ever seen in my life, is the new War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube. So... Let's do the the War of the Worlds.
We'll do the top.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this like when off podcast. I was like, I think this is the first episode where we've recommended a 1 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
it really feels like that.
I mean, going forward, that's kind of a cool concept that we should consider doing.
Complete.
Except every time I recommend something bad, you'll get mad about it. So I don't know about this.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I could do it religiously, but this is fun for one time.
And it was so short.
The hardest part about the fucking War of the Worlds for me was I couldn't decide whether it was like funny bad or not. Like I was on the fence the entire time.
Yeah, I definitely laughed during certain points of it, but most of the time my biggest emotion watching this, the most prevalent feeling was just like, how and why did this happen?
Yeah,
why is Ice Cube in this? Like
pure confusion.
Yeah. I was reading a little bit about it, and it makes sense that this idea was like conceived during COVID. It was supposed to be a COVID movie. There were a lot of these kinds of movies and shows coming out then, like, oh, let's do an entire show about what the new normal looks like, where we're all on Zoom all the time and all this shit, and all of those shows basically suck. But this is like coming out 5 years after that, which just feels so unnecessary and weird that it even happened. You know what I mean?
But even
I don't
like but there's good proof of concept for the story already, like Searching. I mean, that's one of them. There was another series that did it that was okay too.
That's the best I think you're gonna get is Searching. Searching's great. And then you have like similar to this movie, you have Unfriended, which is horrendous.
Did they because they signed off on this script, and yes, this movie is absolutely disgusting to look at, and the CGI is fucking atrocious, and the editing is terrible. But even on a script writing level, it's not good. I don't know why this got thumbs upped.
I don't think it feels like it was trapped, and due to legal obligation they had to release it, which is why it came out so late, because I don't think anyone wanted this to come out.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I looked into who wrote and directed it. At least the writer that I saw, he's like Mark Hyman, I think his name is. He's
Hyman.
Isn't that what his name is? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's Mark Hyman.
Isn't it Mark Hyman? What's his name? Mark Hyman?
It's Mark
That's
Hyman.
his name? Jesus Christ. That's a rough name.
And Kenny Gold.
Yeah.
Mark Hyman also wrote the hit movie Show Dogs from 2018. And the Osmosis Jones movie in 2001.
Osmosis
that's
Jones
a great movie.
Is fucking badass.
That's a great movie.
So there's greatness in his blood.
Yeah, and he's been a script doctor for 40 films, is what I read on Wikipedia.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's not like he can't do good scripts when he really wants to. But I mean, it felt like there was just almost no love or care or thought or anything put into this script, and Ice Cube was clearly just showing up.
Everybody
reading the script.
So it was an entire portion where he was reading it on the spot, but
Mr. President, they're attacking data centers around the world. It's crazy, man.
It was firing on all cylinders in the failure department, because none of the actors did. I mean, to be fair, they hired bad actors. Eva Mendes is not a good actress. Ice Cube, bad actor. That's random
not Eva
people.
Mendes.
Yeah, it is.
It's Eva Longoria.
Same thing.
It's Eva.
Eva Mendes is actually kind of funny though, so I guess you're right. They're different.
Eva Mendes is the one in Hitch. That's Hitch's love.
Yeah, she's in Hitch and she's in The Other Guys.
Mm-hmm. But
and
I thought the
Master of Disguise.
The Prime. Master of Disguise. The Prime driver was pretty good. He was at least trying. I felt like
the product placement character.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Yeah,
he just reminded
movies that the thesis of this movie is that Amazon saves us from our government.
Yeah, and like this movie was definitely I felt like it was really trying to like preach to us about like how the government's spying on us and all this shit, but like the whole story made no fucking sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to set up a character like Ice Cube who's just literally sitting in NSA headquarters, following every little thing. His entire, not even just his family, like everyone this guy knows, he's spying on constantly.
Yeah,
like he's just like looking up everything about them, like accessing street cameras to check out what they're doing. Like, you're never gonna make me sympathize with a guy like that. He's a fucking prick, you know.
He also got permission to do it. Like he messaged one of the IT guys. He's like, I need a new password. My daughter's in trouble. Like in real life, they'd be like, I don't care. You're not fucking getting a password for everything.
You got it, Ice Cube. Honestly,
then, if the Clark Gregg's, that guy was in he was in the MCU too.
He was bad. He was bad in this. Everybody was bad in this.
He was the mustache twirling villain.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much privacy we take. Do you know how much data we're gonna have? I don't care if aliens show up on our door. I don't give a rat's ass or whatever he says. I'm evil.
I'm also struggling to understand in what use case data is for aliens. Like what and how is this like a feasible metric for them to do anything with? I'm so
they're stealing all the data.
Well, you have to understand they're part DNA and then they're part cyber. So they can eat data, they can eat hamburgers, they can eat a lot of different stuff.
I'm gonna translate.
That's why the rabbit virus didn't work, because they're part biological and part cyber. They said that like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
I can directly translate their DNA to code. It's no big deal. In 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then I love how the Ice Cube's son is like, no, Dad, I can explain to you what's really going on. I promise. He's like, shut up. We have to get to that in 20 minutes. We're not in the second act yet, son. Give me 5 seconds to spy on your sister some more.
It's funny because like there's this plot like on paper is something like I would have liked if I was like watching an old 80s like action movie or something. Because it's just so ridiculous. But like at least those movies are salvaged by like the ridiculous explosions and gunfights
and the crazy stunts.
Yeah, the crazy shit. But like this movie was all stupid ass plot stuck behind a desk watching people order on Amazon. So like all the fun of the dumb plot is lost.
Wait, so you guys are telling me that there were good shows like this? Because I remember seeing a couple of them, or a couple of movies that were all this kind of format during COVID, and I was like, this is literally so boring to watch. You said The Searching was good. I've never heard of that. That's good.
Searching is good. It has Harold from Harold and Kumar, and he's like trying to find his daughter.
Yeah, that's a good one. You should watch Searching, Nick. I think that's like genuinely that's probably good. As good as you're gonna get.
Oh, okay.
With this format, yeah.
Well, then there's before COVID, there was also some movies like this. Like, remember that, what was it, like Defriended or Friended? Unfriended, where
and then
like
there was Unfriended to the dark web.
Yeah, like you get a friend request. There's like a ghost who's sending out friend requests.
I remember that.
Yeah,
and it makes them all play like Truth or Dare on Skype and stuff, and then they get killed by ghosts on their webcam.
I mean,
they were part ghost, part cyber too.
Pretty much, yeah. It was because a girl killed herself, and then she was haunting all the people that helped bully her. It's literally 13 Reasons Why cyber version.
It's the same concept as writing like a bottle episode or like a bottle movie. It's just cost cutting, and I think it's very clear that they were trying to not spend a lot of money on this movie.
Yeah. Dude, the final frames are so fucking funny. Like when Ice Cube has that Photoshop of him in the disruptor hood or whatever, and then they
Let's
show
disrupt some shit,
and they show a picture of Joe Rogan tweeting like, "Disruptor family saves the humanity by doing viruses or something." I was like,
I like how, and at the end, the guy's like, "We want to bring you on to make sure that we're not overstepping our control over the regular people in America." He's like, "Nah, fuck that." And they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm watching you." He's like, "But that's the job I'm offering you. I want you to help us do that." He's like, "What are you talking about?"
He's basically just telling one of the most powerful people in the country that I'm going to be an illegal activist hacker, and I'm going to be like hacking into the U.S. government all the time just to make sure you're not spying on people. It's like, I mean, don't you want to keep that to yourself if you're really going to do that?
Be killed.
There's literally no reason for him
You're definitely going to kill yourself in prison. Quote.
Yeah, his son's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm cooking something up." And he like puts his own face on the fucking thing. It's like, why are you exposing yourself?
That's so corny too. And they're like, "Yeah, Dad, welcome to the Disruptors."
I like how Disruptors were like a hacker band. They were like a cool band of hackers.
And the scene where he thinks his son dies, but he didn't. He just it's so fucking bad, dude.
But literally, that's the biggest takeaway from this. So much of this is dependent on Ice Cube's facial acting, and the most you get is just, huh? Oh man! No! What's his daughter's name? Sasha or whatever.
I almost don't even blame him. I mean, I have to imagine it's really like no one ever said in the entire history of Ice Cube's career that he was a really great, exceptional actor. I mean, I'm sure that most even really established, well-respected actors would have a hard time with this script and this premise and just this format. Like, I don't really blame it on him that much. I think it's just the movie itself, you know?
Well, there was that Jake Gyllenhaal movie we were both talking about the other day where he was like, it was just basically him stuck at that the desk.
And he's like a 9/11 call. Yeah, he's in the not 9/11.
Yeah.
911. Oh god.
And I would say,
sir, 9/11 is happening.
I would say, although recently Gyllenhaal has not been the best actor, I'd still say he's a good actor, and that movie still sucked.
The Guilty. I thought The Guilty was pretty good actually, and that's a little bit of a different concept. I mean, you're at least getting different camera angles. He's able to like the camera moves at least a little bit. They're able to like show you not just one like front facing phone video of him. You know, like it's a little bit more expansive than this. Although it's very self contained as well. But
there's just so much bad in this movie and also nothing makes sense. Like he has access to all the body camera footage when they're like trying to catch the disruptor, but she's still there holding her phone the whole time.
Yeah,
it's like why?
Honestly, we should really recreate this entire movie in podcast format because it's just. I mean, we already have the same amount of effort put in right now.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this literally reminds me of like watching our podcast just in terms of production value.
If we just added some like Snapchat of alien robot effects in between.
It was so ugly. I hated it. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it ironically.
I was wondering if you were going to think it was a so bad it's good, like funny type of movie.
It's funny.
I really wanted to like it in like a bad way, but I can't. It's too confusing.
Yeah,
it's such an enigma of a creation.
I guess like when you have a script like this in a format like this, the inclination as a writer would be like, obviously I have to make the plot really convoluted. Like there has to be a lot of stuff going on to just trick people into thinking they're actually watching a movie. You know, like you gotta just throw as much shit as you can in there.
A lot of stuff did happen. I'll give it that. A lot of things happened.
Nothing didn't happen.
Yep.
Hey man, I love it when things happen in movies.
I love it when a movie happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much to say. It's just confusing.
I pulled up some quotes. Most of them are from Ice Cube's characters. I just think it's funny. You risked all of our lives just to spy on people's Amazon carts. That's a good one. Oh yeah, this one made me laugh. This plan is humanity's last chance. I see no other option but to initiate this war of the worlds to save us all.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the name of the movie. And of course it's you! It's you!
Well, when he was talking to
his son.
Oh, okay.
When he finds out his son is the disruptor. It's you!
Yeah. I can't
son's
lie.
hacking the
And
government.
also,
I didn't watch all of this movie. I watched like in spurts of like 15 minutes. I wasn't paying attention to all of it.
Coward.
Also, another thing that made absolutely no sense. Like, so his son just hacks a drone, and the drone just shoots missiles at the aliens that nobody can kill, and it just insta kills all of the aliens.
Oh yeah, because we were in the final act, so we needed something to happen.
It's like, it's that easy.
I fast forwarded to that part. So you're saying that the Amazon package drone was shooting missiles at the aliens?
No, the drone that was hijacked to protect the Amazon package drone he had lock-on missiles that one-shot the aliens, but for some reason the entire U.S. government was wiped out.
Wait, so the son, he basically hacked into one of the U.S. government's drone missiles?
Yes.
So I thought he was a video game software engineer or something.
That's what he said it was supposed to, but I think he was lying.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he's pretending to be in his room working on video games, he's actually disrupting.
Hacking. He's disrupting.
But somehow his dad never sees that. Even though he can just log into his computer and uninstall his Steam games.
His son he's surpassing his father. You don't get it. It's like a really interesting character arc, because like the father who's overreaching and is a tech genius. His son's even more of a prodigy because it's in his blood.
Yeah,
that's what you don't get.
The thing is, like, obviously we all know that the NSA, I guess, can do this kind of stuff. Like, after all the leaks that Edward Snowden did, I just find it hard to believe that they have people as petty as Ice Cube working there that are really abusing the system that hard to like just spy on everything everybody they know is doing.
I agree. And also, why was he the only person there?
Yeah, it was like a complete. Did he just have a single office level?
The freaking Marvel guy just presses one button and takes away all his access, but he's just there. Nobody takes him out. Nobody does anything. He's just chilling.
Wouldn't it have been? I was kind of expecting them to be like, man, ever since COVID, I've had to be really lonely in this office building.
Yeah,
no one's around anymore.
At least try to make it make sense.
Excuse.
Yeah, I guess they weren't gonna mention COVID. I'm curious. Like, do you guys know when did they actually film this? Because I do know I read that it was conceived during COVID, but I don't know if it was filmed recently or what.
I'm guessing end of that year.
I haven't cared about this movie enough to Google things about it.
Well, I just needed to know. I needed to know like why the who, what, when, and why of this whole thing, because it just really is insane.
AI Overview says began filming in October of 2020, and they
It must have been in one of those situations where they had something like this, like aliens that are addicted to data, and it was like a COVID Zoom movie type of deal. And then people at Amazon were just like, yeah, actually, let's just make it so it's War of the Worlds, so we can market it that way.
You're probably right. It probably wasn't even a War of the Worlds movie.
Make them tripods.
Yeah,
maybe it was a Skyline movie, and they were like, that's not marketable enough. Nobody knows what the fuck Skyline is.
What's Skyline?
It's a sci-fi movie that nobody's heard of.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Was Ice Cube in that too?
No.
That's the thing. Like, why Ice Cube?
I don't know. Do you think like I said in their group chat, he needed to pay off a mortgage payment.
I know, but I'm not saying why would he accept it. I'm saying why did they pick him?
Probably just because he said yes. I mean, they probably...
He was probably option number 78, and he was like, sure. Can I film it from my office building if I throw up a green screen? All right, I'm in.
Yeah, he probably did film this in his own house.
In his actual house. Imagine walking in and he's just like, you just hear from the other room just like, Mr. President, The aliens are reaching the data centers. We've got to stop them.
Remember the moment when his daughter gets hurt and he's like, I'm coming. I was like, no way. Are they actually going to leave this office? And then like immediately he couldn't get out. I was like, oh, okay. No.
The door's jammed.
No, they're not leaving. He's never leaving this room. And then
he did in the end.
The photoshops at the end were atrocious.
Horrible.
Like they couldn't even get the cast together to take one photo.
That
together.
One, what's the good Marvel actor again?
Clark Gregg's his name is.
Whenever they showed the picture of him sitting at the table and it was him, why did they Photoshop his face onto that? They could have just made him sit at a table.
Yeah. I don't know. And everyone else was redacted except him, who's looking directly at the camera. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, yes.
Like when he's going through all the Roswell files and shit.
It's so confusing why they had to Photoshop all this.
That was the other thing. It's like he's looking at redacted files about UFOs from the 40s, like the Roswell crash, and they're like, these aliens are addicted to data. It's like, what fucking data in the 1940s? There was no internet. Like, what data are you talking about? How would they even know that they were like there? I don't even think there was like really computers then. Like, what the fuck? What kind of data were they eating? You know?
I mean, maybe like computers that were entire rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a server room to activate one computer.
Were there? I mean, this is kind of a stupid question. Were there actually even computers like that in the 1940s? I think I was a little bit later on that they even.
It might have been a little later.
Let's see, what was the first computer? 1946.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was actually right around. That would have been right around Roswell. I think Roswell. Wow, like they did
dang, this movie's actually really smart.
They're so good.
But yeah, I mean, fuck this movie. This was probably I think this might be the worst movie I've ever seen. I genuinely hated it. I thought it was an awful fucking movie.
I can't say that because I don't feel personally insulted by the movie, so it's definitely not the worst thing I've seen. But it's definitely not good.
Talk about Midsommar being insulting to your intelligence, but this isn't somehow. How? Like
this is actually kind of an underrated masterpiece.
This is insulting to everybody's intelligence except babies. Maybe I think like you'd.
Yeah, but I don't have to deal with people telling me that it's a masterpiece. Everybody can join together and agree that this movie's terrible.
Yeah. Well, I thought you said Midsommar was insulting, just like your base experience after watching it, not even like. After hearing the response to it, though.
It was, and then I also felt crazy because I felt like everybody liked it until like 2 years later, and everybody's like, maybe this movie wasn't that good.
I don't remember that happening. I still feel like people like it, but I don't know.
All right, so what are our ratings?
0 out of 10.
That's not an option, sir.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, 1 out of 10.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
Are you really going to do it that high?
No, just kidding. It's a 1. It's a fucking 1.
It's a 1.
I had to pick a number that wasn't too absurd, but wasn't too low.
Wait, you really can't do you can't do 0 out of 10?
I mean, the 1 is for making the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
The 1 is you have a movie.
Yeah, but if it's just a 1 for making the movie, what if the movie should have never been made? Then that's when you give it a 0.
I mean,
that's when you take away the 1.
I mean, because I'm going off Letterboxd rules, I can't give anything.
I know that you don't feel strong enough to fight for that 0, so I'm going to say no zeros.
All right. That's actually a good rule to establish.
If you're not very passionate about the topic.
Well, no, just for HTI, just so we know, we can't give goose eggs. We don't do that here. 1 is the lowest score. That's like the base rating for everything. So okay, fine.
Maybe you can get like 1 every decade or so.
Yeah. If I was gonna get 1, it would every decade. It would be for this. I'm pretty sure. So
do you imagine if like we had to rate movies out of 100?
I mean,
that'd be honestly easier for me.
Ethan, your rating system is basically out of 1,000 because you use the number system, but it's also like a million different qualifying adjectives that you can use that make it like well if it's a beefy, hearty, juicy 8 out of 10, that's basically like an 86.75.
Listen, my rating system is 1 through 10, and if it's like it's still, even if it's a 7 out of 10, but it's like close to an 8, it's still a 7. Or if it's a 7, but it's a low 7, it's like might be.
But then why don't you just do 0.5s?
Because I don't want to do that. I don't like decimals.
But is it not more accurate?
Fuck you. Yes. I don't care.
All right. Yeah, this movie fucking sucked. But you know it didn't fucking suck?
Birdman.
Birdman, or the unexpected virtue of ignorance.
So I hadn't seen this movie in a couple of years.
What did you watch it when it first came out and everything? You guys
I watched it in theaters
and
stuff. I didn't see
this was around when I first started getting into movies, because I was like high school, like freshman. And that was when I started like developing taste and going to see movies all the time. And I think I saw, I don't know what came out first, but I remember seeing Amazing Spider-Man 2 around the same time this movie came out. And I was just like, holy shit. One of these was fucking horrible. And the other one was like, it blew my mind.
And they both had Emma Stone.
And they both had Emma Stone as a blonde.
Is that why? Yeah, she probably had blonde hair because she was doing Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
It's very true.
Fucking brain blast right now. Holy shit.
I watched this movie like on streaming as soon as it came out on streaming.
So wait, should we make a new rule where we do like a little bit of a plot synopsis about movies that we talk about?
I think we should.
Yeah, let's do
because I don't think everybody has necessarily seen everything on the pod.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and even if people like, it's a big movie like Superman, some people might just listen to the pod to listen to it, and it might make it easier to follow along.
Yeah. So I'll do a little quick plot synopsis. So basically, Birdman follows Michael Keaton, who plays Regan Thompson. He's a washed-up superhero actor who's, I guess you could basically say he's sort of like an older version of a Tobey Maguire kind of figure. Like you imagine Tobey Maguire like 20 years older after he did Spider-Man, like this really seminal superhero franchise movie, and then watching the MCU and DC movies really blow up. So he's feeling washed up in his career. So he makes this big artistic swing to rent out a theater and put on a production of this Raymond Carver short story. I think it's a novel. It's what we talk about when we talk about love. And he gets in with Ed Norton's character, who's much more of like a very legit artistically he has a lot of artistic integrity. Mike Shiner, his name is. He's also working with Zach Galifianakis, who is his manager. He's like a very show busy type of guy. Basically, the whole movie is just his trials and tribulations, trying to basically measure up his artistic intentions with the intense need that he has inside of himself to have commercial validation and to be respected as an artist rather than just do the act of creation itself, which that's not enough for him. He needs to be loved for being an artist. He can't just be an artist. He has to have the admiration for it, and he confuses those.
And he has to be loved in the way he wants to be loved, not in like the way that people already appreciate him.
Right.
As like, he has fans. They're just, they like him for the thing he doesn't think is respectable enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like he has people coming up to him in the bar and everything. Remember?
It's Regan Thomas. Who is this guy? He was in he was in the Birdman movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of true. But I do think there's like elements of it where he like, maybe it's me like overthinking things, but like, I think it kind of shows that maybe I'm thinking about it backwards, but like whenever his daughter comes in with like the right flowers finally at the end of the movie, like I feel like that's like, okay, let's skip this. What do y'all take out of the ending? What do y'all get out of the ending? I haven't Googled anything.
I have an idea. There's 3 points in this movie where it feels like 3 dream sequences where he kills himself, basically.
Yeah.
There's like the first one where he jumps off the roof. And then there's the shoots himself in the head or slash nose. And then there's the final scene where he jumps out the window.
Right. So I
don't know.
What I took out of that is I took it very metaphorically. I think that is him. It's basically like capping off the story without having to show us everything, showing he basically does raise back into like the public spotlight and get the admiration he wants. Like, I don't think that he actually jumped out of anything. I think it's like a metaphor for like his trajectory after everything he's accomplished.
That could be what it is.
Yeah, I think that works.
That's totally a valid interpretation. Mine was more of, I guess, the fact that he probably did end up killing himself, because throughout the entire time of him having these hallucinations where he has powers and stuff, there's only one time in the movie where there's somebody that walks in on him having one of these episodes. Like, remember when Mike Shiner goes to New York Times and does that interview, and they get into a fight. He goes back into his room. He's like doing telekinesis and throwing shit all over his room and stuff. But once Zach Galifianakis walks in,
he's just throwing shit.
Yeah, you just see him throwing stuff. But every other time he has powers, people interact with him as though he's actually doing the things that he's imagining himself to do. Like, oh my God, that guy's, when he starts, when Birdman actually shows up walking behind him, they see the people down on the street are like, that guy's flying up into the air. So, like, long story short, I feel like a big part of these hallucinations is sort of gauging the reactions of people seeing him doing those incredible things. Because that, to me, like, him having these powers is a manifestation of how badly he wants to be special and to be like a singular person who can do these amazing things, and he needs to be seen doing them. So I felt like him jumping out of the window, yeah, sure, he thinks he's flying away. He probably just ended up, obviously probably just fell to the ground, I think. But his daughter, it's still part of the dream sequence because he wants her to see him fly, even though he's not actually flying. So he's imagining her still smiling and looking up. That's kind of what I took from it more than anything. But I think yours is valid, though, I think.
The reason I don't necessarily think it the way you saw it is because I think that's kind of conflicted by a lot of those other hallucinations throughout the entire time, right? And I guess it maybe it's dependent on what his actual intention was with that scene, because the entire time, whenever he has basically Birdman talking to him, leading up to that scene where he shoots himself in the face, he's basically looking forward to what's to come after, and he does have like a positive outlook on what's to come. So it's just confusing if his intent was to kill himself there, because it doesn't, like whenever he's talking about the jellyfish scene, whenever has the big situation with his wife, right? That's where everything's kind of falling apart in his life, and that's whenever he decided to go try to drown himself. But like he genuinely feels like he's on the up and he's about to succeed. So I almost take it like he meant to shoot himself in the like nose or some shit.
So he didn't actually want to kill himself. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that whole conversation with Zach Galifianakis that happens once he walks in, he's like reading that article from the New York Times lady. His ex-wife is like totally disgusted by it because she's like, are you serious? Like, the only way he gets a positive review is by literally shooting himself on stage. And Zach Galifianakis is like, why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you reacting? Like, isn't this what you wanted? And he looks totally dejected. And he's like, yeah, this is what I wanted, you know? But he really... Clearly, it feels like a hollow victory for him. Like he's not actually happy about that happening to him. It feels like, yeah, he got what he wanted, but he's ultimately learned that this entire business that he's devoted his life to, and this entire creative pursuit, not just creative pursuit, but just like this pursuit of fame and like building a public profile, has been ultimately hollow and toxic for him in general. So he's like, yeah, I got everything I wanted. It's like a Kurt Cobain thing. Like, I got everything I wanted, but it ended up just being totally hollow and not worth it in the end. So I'm just gonna off myself,
jump out. I'm just gonna go fly out this window.
That's kind of what I took it as.
But I agree with what you're saying about in the hospital room. It just feels like a tonal 180 compared to what was happening beforehand, right? To me.
How so? Tonal 180 from what?
Because he seemed very positive on what was to come in the future. Like, that was like the big like the big turn, right?
He seemed, when did he seem very positive?
Whenever he woke up from drinking all night and he was like in the ditch, and then Birdman starts talking to him and he's like, you're about to fucking be the biggest fucking action star in the goddamn world. And he's like, hell yeah, I am.
Yeah, but ultimately I think he was just basically plotting his own suicide. That's what it felt like. He was like, that's kind of that thing that happens very often when people are right on the verge of committing suicide, like when they've actually committed to a plan of doing it. A lot of people very close to those kinds of people report them being happier than they've seen them in years, because there's like a weight lifted off their back where they're like
closure.
Yeah, they're like, I don't have to deal with all this pain I've been carrying. I'm just like, I am happy now because I'm about to let go of all this shit. That's kind of what I mean, he's like standing on top of a rooftop and everyone's like, are you gonna jump? Or are you like filming something, Birdman? He's like, it's a film. That was funny. But
what the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
I guess
it's intentionally really, it's really cryptic. I don't know. Open. You could take anything from it. Yeah.
It's I also really appreciate the detail they add, especially for like the hallucination sequences, where it's when he comes down after flying around the building, when he's like hovering down back onto the street, and then he starts walking into the theater, and then you have the taxi driver come out the corner and be like, "Hey, you didn't pay me for the taxi." I was like, "Oh, that's a cool way of just like tying it all back in."
Yeah. What did you guys think? Who was your favorite performance in this movie? Because everyone is so excellent. Yeah,
Edward Norton.
I think Michael Keaton. Honestly, I cannot believe he did not win the Oscar. Have you guys seen that clip where he's at the Oscars and they're announcing Best Actor, and they announced, I think it was Eddie Redmayne, and you just see in the background, you see Michael Keaton put his speech back in his jacket. That's like rough. He really, really thought he was gonna win.
Michael Keaton was genuinely amazing, but I'm also just the biggest Edward Norton fan on the planet.
Yeah, he's great.
He's incredible, and I think their relationship is so pitch perfect in this movie. Like, just having a character like Mike Shiner there, who's he's basically the physical embodiment of that voice in the back of his head that's telling him that he's not really not that he's not worth being here, but he's not cut out for this actual artistic space. Like, he's a blockbuster star, and Mike is reminding him that at every turn, and so is this like schizophrenic Birdman entity that he has living inside him too. So I think that's just really great, and obviously Ed Norton is excellent in the movie. You know,
yeah, like he represents like an artist's artist. You know, he's like, I don't care about all the accolades or whatever. But of course, with that, he gets all the accolades. Everyone loves him. The theater, the theater industry absolutely obsesses over him, which is just like kind of a perfect foil for Michael Keaton's character.
Yeah, I think it does a good job of like showing how like vain all these people are, and not really like, I don't know. I like when movies don't, what's the word? Like, make them seem so much better than the average person, right? It shows that they, like, morally, they're actually much worse than the average person. They just live a better life.
And I saw it was Alejandro Iñárritu was talking about how he's like, I didn't want this movie to just be, for actors about actors or whatever. It's about being human. Like, you could swap out any of this for just, we all want to be admired. We all want admiration of some form. And, that affects some other people more than the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's I agree with him that I guess it could be about anybody, but for me, it's definitely very specific and particular to creative fields, because I think
very much an art for artists.
Yeah, because I mean, I think basically every artist has that drive in them to a certain degree, where like, yeah, you're driven to create things for yourself because there's obviously something inside you, whether it's like talent or a desire to express something inside yourself. But you also want to be recognized for those things, and when that's not happening, and for someone like in Riggins' case or Michael Keaton's case, it's like he was recognized, but just like you said, Ethan, like not in the exact way that he wanted, which is crazy. It's like, you have this incredibly successful career. You are 60 years old. Like, it's okay to just be like, I did my thing, but he just can't accept the fact that he's not George Clooney. Like that whole conversation with him and his ex-wife is like so perfect, because she walks in and she says to him, she's like, I totally, like, for a second, I totally forgot why I even broke up with you. Like, we had this relationship that was good to a certain degree, and I got wrapped up in the, it's implied that she's getting wrapped up in the mystique and glitz and glamour of like being married to a Hollywood celebrity. But then as soon as he starts talking about this ridiculous story about how the first thing he thinks about when he's about to die on a plane is that George Clooney is going to get the better press out of it, she literally just kisses him on the head like a fucking child. She's like, I just feel, it's like pity. It's like, I feel so bad that this is what you're thinking about. This is like what drives you still at like 60 years old. It's like fucking embarrassing.
It's pathetic.
Yeah. No, that scene was great, and then also the scene with him and the reviewer, really good.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, and just the
without going anything.
Man, no, just like the complete. That was probably one of those scenes where they'd play that in the Oscars like montage for like who's up for Best Actor, because he's so good in that scene. But I love the way it ends with just the critic being like, "I'm gonna fucking destroy your play," and just leaves, and he's like, "Shit."
Yeah. And he just takes every opportunity to tear apart her writing, you know, like just labels. You just label everything with these shitty comparisons. Everyone. Yeah.
And then she immediately goes like, "You're just a." She calls him something. She basically labels him at the very end of that approach. She said though.
Basically calls him like a popcorn actor.
Yeah. You're just a blockbuster, a burnt out afterthought.
No, she says you're not an actor. You're a. I forgot what she said.
You're a celebrity.
Yeah, you're a celebrity. That was what it was.
Yeah, you're just a celebrity.
And it's at the same time, like, you can understand to a certain degree where she's coming from. I mean, the movie goes to great lengths. I feel like it rides a fine line between actually, like, Iñárritu and whoever else wrote this movie, them actually putting their own animosity against critics at, like, the profession of critique. By them being like, you know, when someone can't do, obviously they're going to critique. If they can't be an artist, they're going to become a critic, you know, all this stuff. And even when Mike Shiner goes up to her, he's like, yeah, like, he might be those things. He might be a washed up Hollywood actor in a bird costume or whatever, but he's still getting up on that stage and risking it all. Like, what are you risking? But ultimately, you do see her point, because theater is kind of, it's more commercialized now. Like, you see, there was like, I thought it was cool how they had Spider-Man on the stage during that like dream sequence thing, because remember that Spider-Man Into the Dark,
Turn Off the Dark,
Turn Off the Dark thing, and then that was just a big Harry Potter production. So like theater, Broadway is becoming more commercialized as time goes on.
Franchise,
but compared to film, I mean, it still is kind of like the last bastion of like real performance that you're going to consistently see, like real dramatic and musical performances on a stage live in front of people, as opposed to like what the film industry is slowly becoming. So she's like one of the gatekeepers that's trying to protect that. And even if his play is good, he represents this larger trend in theater, you know, becoming more commoditized like film has become. And she feels like she's like one of the last vanguards against that change from happening. So she's basically like, look, I'm gonna fucking kill your play no matter what. And you kind of like have to understand, if you don't respect it, you have to like understand where she's coming from at least a little bit, I think, you know?
Yeah,
I can understand her point of view. I don't agree with it, but
yeah, I mean, ultimately, you don't want to be like, I'm going to kill your play before having seen it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, she's trying to prevent what happened to the film industry from happening to theater. She has a lot of power. Like, I don't know. You can see where she's coming from,
even if you don't necessarily agree.
Yeah. Because who wants theater? Who wants theater to just become another MCU thing? You know, like, that would suck.
That'd probably be good for theater, because who the fuck watches theater?
I mean, there's a lot of people that care about theater.
I'm just kidding.
People travel all over. I mean, you know, there's regional theaters too, but I mean,
if
Broadway's
I go to New York, I'm going to see Nick's band, and I'm going to see a Lion King matinee.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to a Broadway show in a while, but I would like to. I mean, I'm part of the problem, because the last one I saw was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
I want to see Book of Mormon.
I saw that too. That was really good. That was a really good play. But so ultimately, what do you think of Iñárritu? How do you say it? Is it Iñárritu or
Iñárritu?
Iñárritu. It feels like he did Birdman and then The Revenant, and he did that Bardo movie that I didn't watch.
Yeah, I have not seen Bardo.
I know he has a new movie coming out next year, but I feel like he was one of the hottest actors or hottest directors of this time period of like the mid 2010s, and then he kind of fell off. Like, do you guys think he's due for a comeback soon?
Didn't he do? Wait, who did Gravity?
That was not him.
That was Cuarón.
That was Alfonso Cuarón.
I'm so racist. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. I really did Babel, but what else did he do?
Yeah, Babel, and then there was a couple.
He did Beautiful with Javier Bardem.
Didn't see that.
I never saw it. It's a foreign language film. I never saw it.
I feel like I'm the person who like is taking crazy pills. I didn't like The Revenant that much. It was alright.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember really liking it at the time.
The most horrifying depiction of a bear attack I've ever seen in anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think
nightmare.
It did seem like one of those movies where it's like, we're just going to push Leo to the bounds of everywhere an actor can possibly go so he can get an Oscar.
We're giving him the Oscar movie.
Yeah, like maybe that was kind of what it was.
I think I remember being mad that he won the Oscar over somebody. That's all I remember from 2015. Who was the runner-ups for the Oscars in 2015?
Michael Keaton. Oh wait, no, 2015.
I think Michael Keaton was in that too.
No, he was 20. That was 2015.
Yeah, 2015
or 2014. Sorry, 2014. No, Revenant was 20.
No, the Revenant. Right, it was the next year. It was 2015. Revenant.
Yeah, Iñárritu won Best Director that year.
He won twice in a row.
So wait, Eddie Redmayne won over
Michael Keaton in 20.
But who won the year The Revenant came out?
Leonardo won.
That was 2016.
So whatever the year you're trying to know about, it's the year after is when the Oscars happen, because that next beginning of the year. Are you trying to look up follow-ups for the actors?
Yeah, I remember being
so Leo won, and then Bryan Cranston was nominated. So was Matt Damon, Michael Fassbender, and Eddie Redmayne.
Bryan Cranston for Trumbo?
Yes, for Trumbo.
Okay.
The Dumbo Trump.
Never mind.
Horror film.
Leo, I guess, should have won based on those. Imagine if Matt Damon won for The Martian. That movie, I like that movie, but come on.
He was good in it. And then Brie Larson won a Best Actress that year.
Was it for Room? That's like her only good movie.
Yeah, it was for Room. That was kind of what got her start, and then people started just putting her in all the anti-woke thumbnails on YouTube.
But so, just going back to the movie for a second, Emma Stone's character I find really interesting, because to me she's sort of a depiction of the way that more like people in our generation deal with this, or people, me and Nick are in a different generation than Ethan, but when we're comparing it to Keaton, we're basically in the same generation. So just saying, people that are basically of the internet generation, how we deal with these issues of validation versus artistic integrity, or just regular good old integrity or whatever. Because Emma Stone's character is basically look, you're so up your own ass all the time that you genuinely believe that you are the only one out there who's fighting to be relevant, that it's only the things that you do that matter. You refuse to plug yourself into the internet, which obviously we all know can be a toxic and all-consuming place, but it's also a good reminder to show you that everyone else is also struggling with the things you're struggling with. And if you kind of disregard that, it can kind of make you into this very short-sighted, myopic kind of person that's only looking at your own struggles and not really considering the bigger picture. So I felt like she was a kind of good representation of that, of the generational divide between how these issues are tackled. You know what I mean?
I agree, but also, what do you think's actually better? Because I'd almost argue that Michael Keaton's generation probably had the more, I don't know, it seems better than being around all these comparisons constantly. I
didn't take that as she was trying to compare. She was trying to tell him.
I'm not saying she was. I'm asking you though.
Well, I mean, I always think it's not good to compare yourself to people constantly. I don't think that's what I think. Obviously, that's the worst thing you can do. I mean, I get stuck in fits like that where I'm just oh, well, this person did this by this age and I'm older than that. That means I suck more than this person automatically. I don't think that's a really toxic way to get stuck in thought patterns. But I think, the healthier side of that is reminding yourself that you're part of a bigger tapestry of life or art or whatever. You're not trying to dominate a single space, especially if it's an artistic space. It should be a communal enterprise. We're all adding our own vibes and our own perspectives to the greater cultural enterprise of art. It shouldn't be a competition, more or less, which is kind of what I got out of what she was saying, that he's always so competitive and just trying to say that his relevance is more important than everything else in the world, which I think that's a really bad mindset to have as an artist. I think what Keaton has in this movie.
Maybe so, but I feel that's probably pretty common.
Yeah, but
sure.
It's just, I mean, this whole character seems like a kind of a warning to just not let yourself become like this. It's something that you can so easily fall into, especially these older actors falling out of it and falling out of favor, but just craving that admiration, but never in the way that they receive it, and nothing's ever good enough. I don't know. It's just very fascinating to see just the degradation of someone over the thing they already possess, but just not in the way they want.
Yeah. And I think the timing of this movie, I think, is really perfect, honestly. Like, maybe it would have even been better if it came out like right around the time of Infinity War or Endgame, you know, like right at the peak of superhero shit. I mean, like 2014, that's basically the peak anyway. It's right after Avengers, like Guardians, Man
Age
of Steel, all the
came
shit.
out right after,
Yeah, so, and they even had clips of Robert Downey Jr. in the movie, you know, and Birdman's in the back of his head like, that fucking clown doesn't have an eighth of your talent. Which is kind of ironic because I feel like this movie is basically made for Robert Downey Jr.
That's
more
what I
than
was
it's
literally
made for
saying.
anybody.
I was about to say, I feel like Robert Downey Jr. should like sit down and watch this movie, maybe take a couple lessons from it.
Well, Oppenheimer is basically what we talk about when we talk about love. That was his effort to be like, wait, guys, like, you got to respect me.
Winner now.
Yeah, like, I'm a fucking G.
And now he's like, I'm going to go do some Marvel schlop.
Yeah.
Be right back. I need a new house.
Yeah, he's got Iron Man in the back of his head like, it's guaranteed $1 billion.
You want to touch another windmill to your house? Then this is the easy ticket.
Yeah.
He has a windmill on his house.
But I think when we had I watched his architectural digest. He has a really nice house. He has a really nice fucking house because it's not like a gaudy fucking typical
it's like a
superhero actor
rustic
house.
big rustic farmhouse. Basically.
Yeah, it's a really tasteful, like, badass house. But anyway, I was gonna say, when we had Rendon on, we went over the Oscar winners from this past Oscar ceremony, and he was making that comparison between The Substance and this movie. Which like how Demi Moore and Michael Keaton kind of had the same meta narrative going through each one of their performances, which I still haven't seen The Substance, but I was wondering if you guys could talk about that.
Yeah, no, I see. It's kind of I'd say Birdman is one of the most like meta in a way about like the exact casting and the subject matter. I think it also is very similar in substance. Otherwise, that just and then that just becomes kind of a genre film by the end, like incredibly gruesome and gory. But it also is like a lot, like that is also a perfect casting for Demi Moore because so much of her career has been focused on her looks and everything, and that's kind of the whole thesis. Is there a word for this where actors will do like a comeback movie where they do like a big drama? Because we've had Birdman, Substance, Uncut Gems, Good Time, like the Safdie brothers do it. They're doing it with the Rock, where they kind of make these like sort of
like
meta
a redemption
get
film?
redemption movies. I don't know. I think it's interesting that's become a thing.
I agree. I think it's like very similar in terms of like its meta like narrative, but at the same time, I mean, I think The Substance is good, but it's hard to compare The Substance to like a movie that most people, at least people that like actually love film, like would consider like a masterpiece. Like it's pretty hard to ignore Michael Keaton's ability as an actor after watching this movie. Whereas like Demi Moore, like a lot of the conversation was she's good in this, but you know, like it's pretty inarguable what he accomplished in this film comparatively to whether it was right movie, right time for her.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak on too much, but I guess I could just make the assumption that this was a role perfectly tailored for her because it kind of taps into experiences that she's likely dealt with in life. Same thing for Keaton, but Keaton's also proven throughout like a 40-year career that he doesn't need that to deliver a good performance. Like he deliver a good performance in anything, you know. So it's definitely
he doesn't even need validation. I kept seeing people bring up like in interviews with Michael Keaton for the movie, where they're like, I think the comparisons are interesting. Where you're playing a character who used to play a big superhero character and did like a bunch of movies and then had to turn down the next installment, which kind of parallels you playing Batman and turning down Batman Forever. And then going down this whole rabbit hole of what that means about art and being an artist and, you know, all this other stuff. Michael Keaton's like, yep, there's the comparison, but that's pretty much where all of it stops. Because I'm good. He's like, I did Batman and then I stopped doing Batman and I still act.
That's a good point. I'm sure he would maybe be a little bit offended by that. Did he sound offended in that interview?
No, he just maybe a little bit, but he's very charming and good at blowing it out. He was just like, that's kind of where it stops.
Yeah.
He definitely did get a big boost to his career after this film, though. I mean, he was still working, just not in as high demand as he is now.
No, I mean, and then he got to actually be Birdman, which I find so funny. It's so funny.
I bet they were
that
like,
he did that in Spider-Man.
like, we need to cast the Vulture. Is there any people, bald guys, that you can imagine wearing bird wings? Wait a minute.
He also got to play the founder of McDonald's.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. The Founder.
The Founder, yeah, that's good.
We should talk about that sometime.
Did this win Best Picture?
Birdman, I think it did,
because that's.
But I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. I mean, we should talk a little bit about the technical marvel that is this movie. You know, I mean, I was wondering if you guys could tell me, because you obviously know more about these technical camera work things than I do. Like, are you guys able to watch this and pick out where the cuts are? Because clearly it's not a one-shot thing.
It's very obvious.
I was trying to. I couldn't figure it out.
It's someone will walk in front of the camera. It'll be just the camera pans slightly quicker.
Do you remember?
Do
you remember like whenever it was going under that bridge and then it went like pitch black as it was turning the corner?
Yeah, but it's not always that kind of thing though. Like sometimes it's not that obvious. Like I could tell that, like with the scene when Emma Stone and Ed Norton are on the roof, and then they start going down the stairs, and it's dark for a second. Like clearly there's a cut there, but it's not always that obvious. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's just them freezing on a frame for a long period of time. If they're stuck on a specific frame for a long time, they're probably resetting. I mean, it was really well done, but it is if you are looking for it, you will find it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the transitions were so well planned too. Like it doesn't really matter if it was actually all oneers or not.
So do you remember? So there's the one that I found the coolest was when Emma Stone and Ed Norton, they're hooking up right above, like in the rafters above the stage, and then it pans up. And it goes down into the stage, and there's like a long track. Yeah, he's already down there, and they're like, Michael Keaton's doing a monologue and shit. So I was wondering, do they just line up the crane so it's doing the exact same motion every time, and they can just like make that cut right when it gets to a certain point? I think
they can do that. Like a lot of those arms, like the jibs and stuff, they're like they can set them up on a pattern. I don't know about 2014, but
they definitely did for that scene because there's no way really a person could hold that.
Yeah. But that was so cool. I mean, I feel like since this movie, a lot of movies have kind of not really fully tried to go as gonzo with this concept as this one has. But I mean, this movie is really influential in terms of like technical camera work and also in terms of score, like how it's just that like really frenetic drum score the entire time. Like that was a big thing after this too.
I love in the scene for the first night of the play where it like shows him walking down the hall and then it just shows the guy actually there drumming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I think they filmed the scene where Michael Keaton runs out in his underwear. I think they just filmed that in Times Square.
They did.
Like they didn't set up a set. They just ran out there with the camera and like a boom guy, and they just like booked it. And he's just like, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's Michael Keaton in his underwear."
Wait, so they really just went out there and wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, there was a bunch of like actual like iPhone footage of people recording it. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I mean, I could tell it was really Times Square, but I wasn't sure. I mean, there were so many people there that it would be surprising if they were all extras. I'm sure they couldn't have all been, but there was a ton of like when the camera passes the marching band that's out there, they must have hired them because the marching band was later.
I'm sure they hired some of it.
Yeah,
but it all that all genuinely was one take though, like all of that.
Oh, from him getting stuck, his robe stuck to going back in. That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of it was genuine wonders.
Yeah, just to see what is and what isn't, like where there are cuts and where there aren't cuts, or how many. I'm sure someone has done this to figure out like exactly what points of the movie there are cuts.
If you go on YouTube, you could probably find a compilation of somebody pointing out all the cuts or something.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I feel like there must be other movies that tried to do this too.
Well, there was that Haunting of Hill House had a whole entire oneer episode. So it's like an hour-long oneer. The movie One Cut of the Dead.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that. It's kind of in the name.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them.
Did you mention 1917?
Oh yeah, 1917 was
that one. That one was like filmed and it was set. They pitched it as like all filmed in one take, but it's like 3 or 4 big takes.
Yeah, it has some hidden cuts, but it still looks
great. There's a
great.
movie called Victoria. I have not seen it, but that one is genuinely filmed in one take.
Yeah, there's also a Hitchcock movie. I forgot which one it is that kind of started the whole thing.
It's a feature-length film that's all just literally one take.
Yeah, Victoria is a feature-length film shot in one take. It was like they booked. I think it took them like 7 tries, and like they just were filming for a week, and they would just be like, "All right, from here we start, and we have all the actors planned where they're gonna go, and we just go."
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing you can tell is like one of the scenes where she's supposed to be playing piano, the main character. You can see she's just clearly not pressing the keys.
So
that's the only give.
Got to give him that.
So Alfred Hitchcock did Rope in 1948, and it is shot to look like one take, but it has 10 takes that are all hidden cuts.
Yeah. Oh, and then Nick, I mean, you watched The Studio, right? I know Ethan didn't see it.
Yeah.
But that seems to be clearly influenced by Birdman too, even in the score.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen a few episodes of The Studio.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that movie feels almost like Birdman the show. Even like thematically, it's kind of very similar. I never really made that connection, but they have a lot of similar themes. It's obviously just a comedy, but feels kind of thematically similar.
It definitely did draw inspiration from it. I don't think it's anywhere as well directed, but
no.
It's still cool.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we got some other stuff to get. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the movie, or should we just do ratings and get into some of this other stuff?
I think this is I don't know if you guys know. This is one of my Letterboxd top 4. I fucking love this movie.
Nice.
There was a meme going around when I was in living with my girlfriend in high school, and in her family they would always be like, "Oh, are you going to tell us your favorite movie of 2014 is Birdman, Ethan? Are you going to tell us your favorite movie of 2014 is Birdman?" Because I would apparently tell people that a lot.
I mean, it's what other 2014 movie is going to beat Birdman? Honestly,
Whiplash.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
about
another
that.
10 out of 10.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's a great movie. I don't think it's as good as Birdman though.
I think they're both 10s, but I prefer Birdman. Yeah. But I love Whiplash. I think Whiplash is more rewatchable for me.
Yeah, I think I like Whiplash a little bit more. But I think Birdman's like artistry is like 10 times higher. Like it's like way better crafted film.
Yeah. It really feels like a magnum opus.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So
anyway,
are you guys are we all giving it a 10 out of 10? Because I'm
big old 1 and a 0.
Yeah.
Should I give it a 9.5? I'll be different.
Damn it, you piece of shit. Listen, we were going to have 3 1 out of 10s and 3 10 out of 10s, and you fucking ruined it, Nick.
I don't know why.
You.
I don't know what's holding
I
don't know what's holding it back from a 10 for me. I don't feel the need to rewatch this all the time. Like it's not a movie that draws to me all the time, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a heavy movie. It's deceptively heavy, you know. It's kind of framed. There are really funny moments of it. I mean, the fight between Michael Keaton and Edward Norton is so fun. Like when he's doing that
he's in
fake
his little
performance.
Speedo, right?
Yeah, he's doing that fake performance about how his dad was abusive, and he's like choking up and everything. And Ed Norton's like, "I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry." And he's like, "And I'm fucking lying." So funny.
Yeah, easy 10 out of 10.
Dude, Ed Norton gets punched. That was the other thing I forgot to bring up. Ed Norton gets punched in the face so many times in this movie. It's so funny.
Do you think it was a real punch?
Yeah, I don't know about like really.
The one of them might have been. The first one might have been.
Sometimes there's people get punched in movies, and I'm like, I think that guy actually got punched because it doesn't feel like a movie punch. It feels like an awkward real life punch.
The first one kind of feels like that. The pistol whip definitely was faked.
Yeah, they're not going to hit Edward Norton with a handgun.
Yeah, but I mean, well, in the context of the movie, like I think it's supposed to be that Riggin is he's actually punching Mike Shiner in the movie. Yeah. I don't know if Michael Keaton is actually punching Ed Norton, but I don't know. But yeah, great stuff. 10 out of 10 for me. So Nick, you were saying we're gonna get into some of this Marvel drama too. This Beau DeMayo stuff, right?
So
now that we're done talking about a piece of art, how the Marvel industry is ruining the film franchise and how that's bleeding into other art forms. Let's talk about Marvel.
Give us some of the context to this.
Well, this isn't just talking about Marvel. I think this is kind of different. This is a guy who's very critical of Marvel, but it has to be said that this Beau DeMayo guy is a disgruntled former employee. So us talking about it now and anybody listening to this or anybody just listening to him in general, I feel like you have to take everything he says with a grain of salt, because he has a vested interest in making Marvel look bad because they made him look bad. So
yeah.
Wait, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, for those who don't know, Botomeo is the showrunner of X-Men '97.
Yeah.
Former.
Yeah, he got fired for kind of confusing reasons. I heard it from the way that he tells it is that he was posting sort of like sexually explicit photos of himself on his social media during Pride Month last year, I think, and Marvel like really took issue with that, and they're more of like obviously clearly a family brand. They didn't want like somebody being overtly sexual on their page. But then Marvel said there's more to it than that he was like maybe putting his coworkers or his underlings even in sort of compromised situations. So I don't know. There's a lot of he said, she said there. I don't know if we'll ever really know the full story, but long story short, it seems like some kind of NDA that he had with Marvel up until now, like, is completely not in the picture anymore. Because for the past month, he's just been on a tear, just talking so much shit about Marvel, just like really going off on them. I have to find this quote from him, because it's just like, it really is insane how willing he was just able to just totally go against them. But
I mean, it could also be like that he can't find any work right now and he's pissed about it, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, that could be too. But I mean, so here's the quote, and then we could talk about it. So he said, in reference to Marvel and working at Marvel, he said, "There's no spark, there's no vision. Marvel is a slaughterhouse factory where you watch fresh meat get spoiled as it slowly makes its way through the assembly gears of mediocre thinking and this weird hatred for their own product. This is why Robert Liefeld isn't just some bitter old man talking about the comic book writers, is met with open contempt. I had to fight to get Lewell's, and this is all like comic book shit. But I mean, the main part is the first thing. And then he also made comments about how basically in these Marvel creative meetings, he was talking about how he felt bad for Matt Shakman on Fantastic Four, because he was saying that when he gets into a room with Kevin Feige and Lou D'Esposito, the other producer, they're basically just like, yeah, whatever, characters, arcs, themes, I don't really care. Just make it fun. We just got to make it fun. Got to get characters in there that people like. Oh, wow, that's the only thing that matters. And Bo is like he's like a comics nerd. Like, he really wanted to, and X-Men '97 is excellent. I know you haven't seen it yet, but it really rules. But yeah, I feel bad for the guy reading that. I feel bad for if this stuff is true like that. It kind of confirms what Nick says all the time, honestly, about Marvel. Yeah.
It's a quote unquote art factory.
Yeah. It's one of those things for me, like, regardless of his motives, it's hard to not believe it based on the output.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So even if it isn't true, like, they should come out with that evidence to make him look bad if they have it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm just going to believe it.
This is you guys will enjoy this too, because I've been like kind of just I've been keeping up with his tweets because I find it pretty funny. But he said this one time that since he's doing X-Men '97, he addressed an email to Kevin Feige, Lou D'Esposito, and everyone, other executives at Marvel. And he said, "Hello, my fellow executives," like X dash, because he's the X-Men guy. So he's like, and someone immediately, like one of Kevin's underlings, immediately, that was also CC'd on the email, immediately reached out to Bo and was like, Kevin sees himself as an artist. Like, please do not refer to him as an executive. That's really something. That's a real big no-no around here. You can't do that. This is like all this.
Bro,
it's really funny that Kevin's like, no, I'm the artist here, buddy. Let's just chill out.
Jesus Christ.
But just I mean, dude, the Marvel slaughterhouse factory of mediocre thinking. I mean, I when I was reading that, I was like, this literally sounds like Nick's words.
That's why we need to get this guy on, dude.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Kevin Feige's gotten more insecure because now that James Gunn is like an actual creative force and he's doing Kevin Feige's job?
Yeah.
I
can see it. Yeah.
And it's like, and Superman did better than Fantastic Four, like way better.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I think that there's got to be a lot of animosity in both directions because, you know, James Gunn is James Gunn. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's been feeling himself hard lately. Like, he's just like, he's walking around like, dude, I have a huge dick. Like, he has this vibe about him right now that's like, no one can fuck with me. I'm the DC Studios guy. I made Superman rule, like all this shit. Like, he's kind of walking around like his shit doesn't sink right now.
He's just straight up shit talking people on Twitter. It's hilarious.
Yeah. But like,
as an executive for DC.
Yeah. But like, in terms of, you know, animosity might be going from James Gunn to Kevin Feige, because I feel like Superman, were it not for Marvel creating this culture of superhero fatigue, because it is their fault. They oversaturated the market with subpar products over the past 6 years. If that didn't happen, or if they were just like a little bit if they had a little bit of less output in the past 6 years, Superman would have made 800, 900 easy. I mean, dude, we should talk about this, actually. We never really talked about our predictions, our box office predictions.
Does anybody have them written down?
I have mine. I have mine written down. They were all basically like pretty similar. But it, like, we were, long story short, we were all off by like hundreds of millions of dollars. We were all
because even Jurassic World underperformed a lot.
Yeah,
because I think I at least put like at least 1.5 billion on that shit. I think I put like 1.4.
I had Jurassic World Rebirth at 1.2 billion. I think it didn't even crack 800 ultimately. I think it got to 900 or something.
Oh,
did it? Okay.
Yeah, we all knew that Jurassic World was going to do the best because it's dinosaur shit.
We all had the same order too. We had Jurassic World first, Fantastic Four second, Superman third. I had Fantastic Four just breaking $1 billion, which it did not. It didn't even break really 500 million so far. And Superman at 900 million, which I think it's at like 675 or something now.
I think it hasn't hit 650 yet, but apparently like they started celebrating at like 200. They're like, we needed to make like 350, so we're gonna make that, so we're good.
Am I just like a seer? Am I like a mystic? Because I'm telling you, I've been converting you guys to Marvel haters for the past like 3 months. Y'all are slowly saying so much terrible shit about Marvel, and y'all are defending it so hard.
I'm always going to defend it to a certain degree.
And like another month, y'all are going to be like, I fucking hate Pedro Pascal. Oh my god, I fucking hate this guy.
You're like, you know what? Oppenheimer does fucking suck.
Yeah, give another year.
I think I haven't really been invested in Marvel, like the MCU, since fucking No Way Home or something. I don't know, like to where I was like genuinely like, I have to watch this. The Disney Plus shows really killed it for me.
Yeah, the shows were really bad.
I just couldn't keep up.
I think watching Moon Knight was like nail in the coffin for me. I was just like, I cannot watch this shit. I also didn't even like Loki, and that's the one everybody else liked.
I think Loki was great. I thought Loki was really good, actually, especially for like a comic book type of thing. It's one of my favorite things in the MCU, honestly. I think it's great.
That's when I know it's bad, is because I loved Loki season 1. I think it was really fun, and I was liking season 2, but I just have no motivation to watch it. Like, I don't feel like I just am like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm sure it's good, but it just doesn't do anything. I'm just done. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like if they would have just, because remember when WandaVision came out, it was like it was a huge deal. I mean, that's partially because of COVID. I think, you know, it came out right at the height of COVID. Basically, everyone was already inside. Oh wait, no, it was like 2020. It was like sort of COVID was loosening up, but a lot of people were inside still anyway. But the main thing was that it was good and it was different. You know, it was a different thing. Loki was also good and different, I think. Then they started getting into Captain Falcon, Winter Soldier, whatever. And then
Falcon Winter Soldier was pretty to bad.
Mid, and then Hawkeye was mid, and then they just started spitting these things out with characters that no one cared about. Yeah, and it's just like
people like She-Hulk. That show is just bad.
I think
people like the show.
Hawkeye was the first one.
No, people like the character.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye was the first one where I was just, that was the first MCU project where I just skipped it. I was just I heard mixed things and I was like, I'm kind of tired. I've watched 3 Marvel shows in the last like year and a half. I'm kind of done. If they did one show a year, I think it'd be okay.
Yeah.
And it's not even just Marvel too. It's like Disney overall, because like you were also really excited for Percy Jackson. Like I remember you were like fucking pumped on that shit. I was pretty excited on it too.
I still liked it.
Well, I mean, your review wasn't super good.
It wasn't bad. I gave it like a 6 or 7.
What is Percy
That's bad
Jackson?
for something you're really excited about.
Not really. I think a 6 is fine. 6 is good. 6 is more positive. Percy Jackson is basically like the other Harry Potter franchise.
It's like Harry Potter, but with Greek
Harry Potter.
gods.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Is it
It's
like
actually
Artemis?
sick.
Is it like Artemis Fowl, sort of?
Way better than
No.
Artemis Fowl.
I saw Artemis. There was somebody giving away a bunch of books. I saw Artemis Fowl on the sidewalk the other day. I was like, huh. Remember
Artemis
seeing
Fowl's
that?
kind of fucked up.
Saw that at like a Scholastic book fair like 20
He basically
years ago.
he basically just like enslaves like fairies and shit and just treats them like ass. He's just like a super villain.
Yeah, it's like
Whoa.
a supervillain origin book.
What about Henry Bones or something?
I never
You
read
know,
that one.
Do you know
Is that a thing? Or
like-
did you just make that up?
Eric Bones or something? It was like another one of these Harry Potter ripoffs.
Mr. Bones.
Eric Boneheim.
Or is it like City of Bones?
No, it's like a Harry Potter type name, but his name is like Eric Bone. It's definitely not Eric Bones.
Is it
It's
Odd
like-
Thomas?
It's something like that. Like no,
I'm
Charlie.
looking up-
It's called Charlie Bones. That's what it is. Charlie Bones.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, okay. It's like
oh yeah, this looks like a straight up Harry Potter ripoff.
yeah. It's
Wow.
it's there was a lot of those in the mid 2000s. Obviously, trying to capitalize off that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's just kind of like any trend. And then after that, we had the Twilight, Hunger Games stuff, and then everything was trying to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What's the most successful Harry Potter? I mean, I guess you could argue
Harry
that
Potter.
no, you could argue that Hunger Games is the most successful Harry Potter ripoff.
I mean, I guess, but I think it's different. It's a different enough
Yeah.
audience.
It's more of
I
a
think
battle
'cause-
royale ripoff.
Yeah, the story's a battle royale. It just takes it in a different setting a bit, and it's focusing on children.
I think
But-
it's got some bones of Harry
Battle
Potter.
royale is about children
It's
too.
got some Charlie Bones. Yeah.
Battle royale is about Japanese school children
I've
murdering each
actually-
other.
Okay.
Surprisingly,
I've
I've
never read
actually
it.
seen Battle Royale too. I know what
So
that is.
sick. It's so much better than Hunger Games.
I just read all the Hunger Games books.
Are they good?
They're actually decent.
They're pretty solid.
They're easy to
The
read.
movies are okay. Like they're fine adaptations. They don't really excel at anything though, other than like mostly casting is really good.
So do they say I volunteer as tribute
Yeah.
they say that.
in the books? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they
It's
do
also told in like a first person perspective,
Yes.
like present perspective, which is weird. It's like all
So-
present
Why is that
tense.
weird?
Most books are written in past tense. It's
Yeah.
very rare for a book to be written in present
Really?
tense. Yeah.
So it would be
Guess I
like
never thought about
cat instead of Katniss asked or Katniss said, it'll be like Katniss was saying or Katniss was
No,
asking.
that's past tense. Most books are in past tense, but it's like Katniss did this, or Katniss is doing this.
Oh, that does sound very
I don't
confusing. Kind
I
of.
think it did that. I just
I
read it.
promise.
I don't remember it doing that.
It's in present tense. You can Google
All
it.
right. I haven't read any Cormac McCarthy, but I've heard he just doesn't use punctuation like at all in his books.
Damn.
I read Blood
Like he
Meridian.
just went like I don't
That
care.
movie-
I'm
or that
not
book
putting all
fucking-
these little lines.
Sucks.
I listened to
I've heard that's, like, an
the
amazing book.
No Country for Old Men audiobook, so the not having punctuation didn't really stick out to me because you don't like hear
Yeah.
punctuation necessarily. But
Have you guys ever listened to like an audiobook where the person narrating fucks up and they accidentally kept it in?
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a couple mistakes like that in any audiobook because they're just such long fucking recordings, like they're like 35 hours sometimes.
And
in
they
an
have to,
audiobook.
and sometimes they're like 500 hours and they have to trim it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's going to be at least a
Yeah.
couple mistakes or
I
flubs.
mean, I was reading. Me and my wife were reading the. I think they're called a Great and Terrible Beauty like trilogy of books back 5 years ago. And there's a part where she's just reading. The author's reading. Like, she said some line like, "I was scared," and then you just hear her go, "Sorry, I fluttered there a bit. I was scared." It just keeps going.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I've never noticed.
So wait, there was another topic that you had, Nick. That was the thing about the on-screen chemistry for this.
Oh,
yeah.
This is about
I was
the Lois and Clark thing, right?
Superman.
Well, them and also, I mean, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa, whatever the fuck, Kirby.
Well, I think the rumor right now, I'm just speculating, is that Pedro Pascal's gay.
Yeah, I've been hearing that more and more now too. I think it changes the context for sure.
It does change the context, definitely.
Because if there's not like a attraction component to it, I think the touchiness, it comes off a lot less predatory. Yeah. So if you know that this person's not touching you because they're
but also you have to keep in mind. But the issue isn't necessarily that they're even doing anything wrong. The issue is that you are putting your significant other in a weird situation by how it looks to the perceived public, right? True, you're making everybody think that your husband is a huge cuck.
True, but I mean, I don't know. I think that behind closed doors, like if we're starting to hear these rumors about Pedro, that probably means that him and everybody, like he's probably out in terms of people that he's, coworkers with, more or less. I'm sure that Vanessa Kirby's husband knows that he's not actually a threat in that case, and then it's kind of a different thing. I mean, in that case, you just got to be like secure in your own relationship. To be like,
as long as you're comfortable. Who gives a shit what the fucking internet says?
Yeah. So I don't know. It definitely changed the context a bit for me. So
I feel like a lot of these people do care what the internet says because they're actors and celebrities.
I'm sure some of them, but some of them are just like, I'm just doing a job.
No, I mean,
I think that clip you sent of Superman and Lois was pretty rough.
Rachel Brosnahan smooching him after they cut.
Yeah, that was a little rough. And then the Entertainment Weekly thing, which was just wild, dude. Like Entertainment, for anyone who hasn't seen this clip, Entertainment Weekly basically asked Rachel Brosnahan and David Corenswet to put their foreheads together, to touch foreheads, to have their faces literally 2 inches apart, and do this weird breathing exercise while they're staring deeply into each other's eyes. And it's just like they're trying to test, I guess, like how long they could do it or whatever. And everyone in the comments is like, their significant others are strong soldiers for having to watch this shit all the time. Like, it's just rough, dude. Like, I don't even, especially with the discourse around those two in particular. It's always like, oh my God, they have such excellent on-screen chemistry, on-screen chemistry, all this shit. It's like, I don't know, that is such a quick leap from on-screen chemistry to just dating or having sex in real life, especially when they're that comfortable with each other in non-acting context. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's first of all, it's gross. And second of all, like they don't have to do that, right? Like they're the celebrities. They don't need Entertainment Weekly. They could just say we're not doing that. Next question.
Yeah. They definitely could have put their foot down about it. I don't know, dude, but it's just like at the same time, actors they're kind of a different, man. They're a different breed. They're both a little more loosey goosey with that.
But is that an excuse?
They're also both married. No, but like, listen, they're both married to actors, so I think they get it. I know it's not like they're not filming a thing, but
is he?
As long as you're comfortable. Her husband's an actor, I think.
Yeah,
I know hers is. He's the guy from The Magicians.
No, David Corenswet is. His wife is also an actor.
Okay.
He auditioned. His audition tape was like with his wife.
Okay. She was Lois.
Yeah, she was Lois in the scene where they're discussing the politics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that makes it a little bit more understandable. But I mean, I don't know. I think we watch these clips and we put ourselves in the shoes of the significant others, just as people that aren't engaged in that kind of behavior. Like, I feel like when that's your job, it's just a given that you're gonna have to just swallow some of this shit or just get used to it, and it probably stings less over time.
I'm sure
you just got to get used to it.
I just think it's a different thing whenever they're on screen versus off, and I just don't like that it's becoming a trend to be something that like these entertainment companies are pushing. It just makes me feel uncomfortable, and I wish that it would stop.
It also seems to be like a marketing gimmick a lot of the times. Yeah. Like they always do it in every Spider-Man movie. They're like, look at the stars are dating now.
Yeah.
But that's different though, because they're
I know they're
young
not
single people,
But yeah.
Yeah, but then it's just like when those stories are always in the news, and like so many. That's how a lot of actors date actors, because oftentimes they meet on sets where they're playing romantic interests. So it's like it's just like it is a tricky, like emotionally complex thing, which is why that clip went viral of Rachel Brosnahan like pecking Cornsweat on the lips like after the gun had already called cut, because it's like, I don't know, they're actors, but they are just people. Like to a certain degree, like obviously you're gonna get into that a little bit. It's probably impossible not to have like a fucking physiological response to that kind of shit if you're doing it over and over and over again, you know? Like, it's like you're in that headspace. It's like, I don't know, the lines are so blurred between, you know, especially when you're trying to determine like what is cheating or what's not cheating or anything. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's gray area.
Do y'all remember in the Nathan Fielder's show, The Rehearsal Season 2?
Oh yeah, where they have all the actors are making out with each other, and then they have all their couples in.
He brings all their significant others,
and most of them are just like, "Wow, look at her go."
Yeah,
that was so crazy. Like, there was one dude specifically who was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's cool.
It's their job."
Dude, because they were totally abused. I mean, that was basically the point of that like mini social experiment that Nathan was doing. He was just like trying to see how far people could stretch this excuse of I'm just acting, you know, like how much you
fully
could just
like having softcore porn basically happening on the couch.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because what was the thing? The big like he gave them a choice. Like, well, you don't, you know, you can't stop. You know, like
you don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Yeah, and then they just kept,
whatever you guys are comfortable with, and then it basically every single couple ended up making out.
Yeah, he gave them like every out they had, they needed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's what kind of this makes me think about is like.
Once again, Nathan's just ahead of his time. Just he predicted this particular annoying bout of a cultural conversation about actors kissing and shit. But I don't know. There's been a lot of kind of stuff that's been coming up from that behind the scenes Superman documentary. The big thing was it's not really even an argument. I mean, I thought it was so refreshing that they actually
discussion.
Yeah, that creative discussion
it's
that,
just
that
what
they
directing
had.
is.
Yeah,
it's what it is.
Especially compared to like the Disney behind the scenes stuff that you see, like it's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it. Like that kind of shit. It's just like it's really refreshing to actually give, because what the fuck are we doing these behind the scenes things for if not giving people an actual glimpse into what the process of filmmaking actually is? Like, why sterilize it so much? It was so cool to watch.
Well, I don't think there is as much care or thought that goes into those Marvel movies. I don't think a discussion like that would happen on a Marvel set.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I would assume that those conversations happen. They just don't want people to they don't want to show people a look behind the curtain to see anything that's even remotely contentious. You know, like they don't want that perception. They want it to be the only idea that you can walk away with as a viewer of one of these Marvel or Star Wars behind the scenes things is, wow, everybody liked each other. It was super smooth, and they made a movie that I really like. You know, like that's all that they want to show you. But there's fight. You know, you're gonna get like 600 creative people together. They're gonna fight about some shit. You know, like it's inevitable. I just wish they would show it.
You think the new Captain America was like, the Hulk would be redder than this? If it was really Harrison Ford, he'd be 10 times redder than this. There's like, no, he can only get this red. It'll look weird on screen.
No, dude, character motive, regardless of whether we think the movie's not good or whatever, like the actor needs to find their motivation believable so they can actually do their job. You know, that's what Corn Sweat was made. That was his main argument. Like he wanted to understand what the motivation was.
I actually kind of agreed with Corn Sweat's take on it over James Gunn's in the argument too.
You think so?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the whole point. Is like they kind of found a common ground on it, and like the main thing was Corn Sweat was like, this is why I think it's fine. Like because he described it as like I'm not insecure about this anymore. I'm very confident in myself. But and he's like, and I feel like he
seems insecure.
I'm trying to I seem insecure by getting upset, and he's like, well, that's the thing. It's like you are upset because like it hurts just to be like. Have all this like I don't know, the way James Gunn breaks it down, you can see it in Corn Sweat. He's like, I get it, okay, got it, all right, we're good, we're on the same page. I even saw James Gunn was like, David Corn Sweat was probably the most like not challenging, but he said he was like he learned a lot working with him because he's like a Juilliard like actor from college, and all of his other actor friends are mostly just like actors, comedian, funny guys, and they're always just like, sure, James. But this was like the first time someone was like really pushing him on stuff.
Yeah.
And he wants to know, he's like the pretentious meme of like, but what's my motivation? Mm-hmm. Like that was him. And he was just like, okay.
Yeah. No, but I mean, James Gunn, I agree with James more because I felt like the main thrust of that scene, I think James has it down. It's like, really it's being vulnerable for the sake of vulnerability, like to show that you are human by like breaking down a little bit when you're delivering this monologue. Like it's not like he is like angry and worked up, but it's mostly about like, no, I'm human, and that is because I am emotionally vulnerable, even though I'm like clearly
but I think what he's saying is he wouldn't feel the need to basically prove that at this point in the story, because he feels that he's already earned that and learned that himself.
So
I think
if if Cornsweat had his way, how do you think he would have delivered it differently?
It would have been very calm. He would have been like, look, Lex, that's my greatest strength. Like something more toned down, not just like yelling and like a little pissed off. He's like, you don't get it, in the actual version. Whereas he's just very like he's like, I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I'm good.
So you guys would have preferred that?
No. I prefer how it went.
Okay, but
I'd have to see both. I'd have to see both, but I feel like I conceptually agree with Cornsweat.
You kind of get to see those versions in the behind the scenes, not the full thing, but you hear him. They put that whole thing is like 15 minutes of that scene of them like talking about it, which it's crazy to me. Like I don't agree that Marvel doesn't want to put stuff out that like that out there, because so many of the comments under that are like, damn, David Cornsweat fucking hates James Gunn. Look at they're fighting. I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. No wonder they don't want to put stuff out there like that, because people have so low media literacy.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think it's people watch like the first little bit of the TikTok and then they open the comments and don't finish the rest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But also people just want to people don't know what, like, this is what directing is. This is like one of the few times where you see like, no, this is what creatively working on a film is like. It's collaboration. It's discussing different ideas. And if you have a disagreement, you have to come to terms on it. Like that is a pure form of what we saw in that clip. And so many people are like, damn, he hates the script.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the downside is necessarily, because I'm sure you get like some of those comments or whatever, but still, I mean, the end result is always people are going to be talking about the movie more,
Yes.
So it's like you still get like Superman has gotten so much extra promotion in the past week because of this behind the scenes thing being so kind of like unique and almost like groundbreaking for at least the past like 15 years. Like I can't remember the time I saw a blockbuster. I don't really watch them often because they're all just bullshit. But like, can you remember the last time any of this shit went viral? Like fucking never does for Marvel.
Well, back in the day, it was a lot more common to like throw behind the scenes in the end of movies and stuff like that. Like back whenever we bought VHS, they would always have like, stick around for bonus scenes from behind the scenes of whatever the fuck, or check out the, like the first Iron Man movie, even like they had all kinds of stuff after the fact where they talked about like how much of a nightmare it was to make the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like the Hobbit movies, those are very eye-opening, where they're just like, we were filming without a script. It was miserable. Ian McKellen had depression because we've trapped him in a green screen box.
Dude, that clip of him crying is so sad.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's just like sitting at a completely blue table crying.
Yeah, hands in his fists.
I think it also became like a big trend to like shit on movies by saying, oh, they look at all these reshoots and all this kind of stuff. And anytime like something negative happens during production, people like kind of turn it like the movie is going to be a nightmare. Mm-hmm. So I think Marvel is just like way too scared of releasing any information at all at this point, because they don't want people to make a snap judgment before they actually see it.
Right. But Nick, I mean, like, you said that Iron Man had more kind of comprehensive, honest behind the scenes. That was also before the Disney merger.
It wasn't Marvel.
I'm pretty sure.
Or it wasn't DC. Marvel DC, yeah. It was
they were Paramount. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
When did I think the Disney merger or Disney buyout happened pretty quickly? I think it was like 2009. It was like right after Hulk. Yeah, it was like 2009. I'm pretty sure. So
because like Iron Man was a pretty big success.
Yeah. But yeah. So what are we recommending next week, guys?
Okay, for next episode, I'm going to recommend the first ever movie, Citizen Kane, or at least that's the way people talk about it. And in addition, since there's nothing really of super interest to us coming out next week, we're also going to be talking about the COVID release from David Fincher, Mank,
with an exclamation point, right?
With an exclamation point. Wait, no, it doesn't. On Letterboxd, it just says Mank. There's no exclamation. Is this one of those Mandela effects?
I thought you said it like Mank. Because I could have sworn there was an exclamation point too.
I thought as soon as you said that, I looked at the poster and I remember there being an exclamation point.
Yeah.
But there's not. Anyway, all right. If you guys enjoyed this podcast episode, please let us know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. And make sure to watch Mank and Citizen Kane in order to not be spoiled by next episode. And as always, get Stuckmanized.
Get Stuckmanized.
Get Stuckmanized.
Mwah.